Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name is Laura. I'm a self-taught makeup enthusiast who absolutely loves color. Today, I'm so excited. I'm going to be talking about 8 single shadows that I bought from the brand Clionadh Cosmetics. If you follow any kind of indie makeup groups or pages online, you've probably heard whispers of them before. And if you haven't, then I'd love to tell you all about them. If you like color, if you like glitter, if you like multi-chromes, if you like duochromes, this is the brand for you. So if you're a lover of color and texture the way that I am and you want to see the products that I bought, then please keep on watching. Excuse the way I look right now. I am wearing very little makeup and I probably look exhausted because I kind of am. Mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that. So basically I just have my brows on and a bit of lip balm. Doesn't really matter because I'm just swatching stuff on my eyes anyways. So I figured, what's the point of doing a whole face of makeup? And yeah, you know what? Why am I making excuses? It doesn't matter. Anyways, okay. So I should probably be more gentle with these because it says fragile like all over. So I am thrilled to be trying this stuff out. I really hope these products don't disappoint because they've been so hyped up. You know when something is really hyped up and then you try it and then it's not actually, like, it doesn't live up to your standards because, you know, you have this sort of overinflated, exaggerated perception of it because, you know, everyone's just been raving about it. So I really hope that doesn't happen. I really hope it lives up to the hype. Okay, these products took a really, really long time to get here, which is something that you'll hear in probably every single review of this brand. It is what it is. I know Clionadh is owned by 2 sisters. I'm not 100% sure. I think they might have some other staff, especially during like holidays and more high traffic times. I think, but I know it's a very, very small operation. So, and they do everything by hand. So obviously it's going to take a while, especially because they've gotten really popular recently. Just because I do this in every single one of my videos. So by the time I'm actually filming this, I've made 2 orders and I haven't opened either of them. Okay, the first order that I made was, I placed the order June 14th and then got a confirmation on the 15th. Okay, so that was June. Basically, the way that Clionadh works, or at least they have been working, is everything is pre-ordered. And when you order, it'll give you an estimated time when the orders will be processed and shipped out. So I ordered in June with, I think, like an August or September ship date. So my order shipped September 22nd. Yeah, my pre-order date was August, but whatever, it shipped in September. Yeah, it arrived September 25th. So ordered June 14th. Arrived September 25th. Okay, because I think they did have some delays because of COVID and maybe just the amount of people that were ordering then. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so that was order number 1. I ordered 2 items. Order number 2, I ordered that October 1st. I ordered 6 items because my first order had just arrived and then I realized that I think I had wanted other shades for a while and I had sort of been regretting only ordering 2, especially because I watched a lot of review videos about this brand from Amy Loves Makeup and Angelica Nyqvist. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, and a bunch of other creators who specifically focus on indie brands. I've been watching their reviews and their swatches and all of that, and I realized there were some more shades that I wanted. So I made a second order, basically right after the first one arrived, and I hadn't even opened the first one. So my second order, I ordered on the 1st. It apparently shipped on the 1st. I don't remember actually getting a tracking number. Probably deleted that email by accident. But I remember the second order taking less time to arrive. I want to say I ordered it in October and it maybe came in November. Because I think I ordered it right when the 2 owners decided to close their shop, basically like not allowing more orders to be processed for a bit just so they could catch up on everything else. So I think I ordered like the day that was like the cutoff, and I think my order, maybe I like just missed the deadline or something. So I think I ordered in October and I want to say like maybe end of November, my order arrived. So really like not the worst. Like if I was ordering just any product from China, let's say, I feel like it's kind of a comparable shipping and arrival time. So like I'm used to ordering stuff from overseas, so it didn't really bother me. Honestly, I kind of forgot about my order and then it arrived and I'm like, oh yeah, right, I forgot I made an order from Clionadh. So that was kind of like a surprise gift to myself, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. But I am rambling too much. So what you'll see in some of my other swatching videos and what you might continue to see just because of my upload schedule, I don't know when exactly I'm going to upload this video. What I've done in the past is I've primed one eye with the highlighting side of the NYX Wonder Stick, and then I've left my other eye unprimed. I had a wonderful recommendation from Annette's Makeup Corner. So Annette, if you're watching this video, thank you so much for your recommendation, and I am incorporating your recommendation into my video, so thank you. I'm going to prime one eye with the NYX Glitter Primer, which is, if I was like actually doing a look with any of these eyeshadows, this is the primer that I would definitely use. And then I'm using, on the other eye, I'm going to use the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. Just sort of a standard eye primer that you'd, like, I feel like most eye primers kind of are this consistency. So I'm just going to kind of compare the two formulas and see if you can really use any primer for this type of formula or if it really works with the glitter glue. Make sense? I hope so. Let's see. This is kind of an experiment. We'll see if this type of situation works. If not, then I'll just prime my eyes with the glitter primer going forward, or whatever primer kind of works with the type of formula that I'm using. So let's just get on with it. I'm going to unbox these and then we're going to get swatching. I'm so excited. Also, I'm very eager to get these into magnetic palettes because they've just been like sitting in their boxes and I really, really hope that none of them got damaged because literally they've been sitting for months. So I've just got a little magnetic, well, I've got a magnetic palette from Shop Miss A. So this is where I'm going to be putting the shadows so that I can work with them and they won't, you know, move around too much. So I think this is the first order. All right, so I'm just using a pair of nail scissors because I don't have anything else on me right now. So they're very securely packed, let me tell you. Am I opening this upside down? I don't know. Very securely packed. Well done, you guys, well done. Okay, so this is just my packing slip. I always forget about this every time I order from an indie store. I mean, not every indie shop does this, but they included a little handwritten note at the bottom, which I absolutely love. It's just such a personal touch. I guess it shows a human side to the brand. Like on the brand's social media, I don't think I've ever actually seen a picture of either of the founders, so I don't know what they look like, but just seeing a handwritten note from them, it's very much a personal touch. It shows how much they care about what they do and how much they appreciate their customers. And it's just nice. It connects the consumer with the brand. So I love that. So they wrote, Laura, thanks for your patience and support. Enjoy, stay healthy, hashtag Clionadh Cosmetics. Thanks, Lee and Maggie. And those are the two founders. So yeah, it's really sweet. So the two items that I ordered, this is my first order. So I ordered the shades Luxe and Aura. Oh, right, because I'm going to be doing another video where I'm trying to dupe an entire palette. So these two shades I actually ordered so I could shoot that video. Yeah, and then I was just kind of like, I guess a little overwhelmed by how expensive these shadows were because they were $19 each. So before tax and shipping, I spent $38. Shipping was $9 Canadian, so it ended up, and tax was $6.11. So I ended up spending $53.11 Canadian on two eyeshadows. So I think I was a little overwhelmed by that. And then after I realized, oh, these are actually really pretty shadows from what I've seen in other people's videos. So then I ordered more. Anyways, okay. I don't know why I feel like I have to keep explaining this. It's like, it's my life. I can live it how I want. But anyways, okay. So we have the two shadows bundled. And then I think literally the rest of this is bubble wrap. Or not bubble wrap, but like craft paper. And oh, that's nice. Okay, so they have, so this is just their logo that they include a little like, almost like a business card. And then on the other side, it has the pronunciation. So it's Clionadh. And then the website, handmade, vegan, and cruelty-free cosmetics, contact, all of that. Great. And then I think, yeah, literally the rest of this is just craft paper. Wow. Okay. So, and then the shades themselves are packaged in bubble wrap, which is taped together somehow. Okay, there we go. Very, very securely wrapped in bubble wrap. Okay, so the little sleeve that they come in has this little design, which is from, I believe, their stained glass collection. I mean, like, it looks like it, obviously, but I don't know if this is just generic, like, packaging sleeves that they use for everything. Wow. Holy cow. Okay, so I can already see the color shifts, like, through the plastic. I don't know if you can even see it at all. I'm gonna just take it out. Okay, so we have the ingredients on the back. I don't know if these are just, I think they might just be generic ingredients. I'm not 100% sure. And then, oh, this is actually, for some reason I imagine these to be a bit smaller. Okay, so this one is the shade Aura. Oh, it says, okay, so it's 1.5 grams, which I'll put up on screen how much like a ColourPop shadow is. I have one right here that I can compare. Oh, okay, this is standard like a ColourPop or MAC eyeshadow. Same amount of product in here, just a square pan, or like rectangular, I guess. It says it's face, eyes, and lips, so it's actually safe to put on your face, I guess, obviously, but your lips is very interesting. Okay, so this is the shade Aura. A bit more. It looks like it has a sort of pink green shift. I'm gonna swatch all of these after so you can actually see for yourself. And I'm just going to put it snugly in my magnetic palette. Alrighty, the next one we have here is, yeah, this one's called Luxe. Same thing size-wise, and wow, this is like hollow. Oh man, it's like also like a pink and green, more green I'm seeing. Very interesting. First shade is Aura. So just to compare the two, Aura is more like pinky. There's definitely a very clear pinky shift, whereas Luxe has more of like a yellowy green shift. I don't know, it's like a yellowy bluish green shift. It's hard to explain. Okay, so that is order number 1. Now I'm going to go through order number 2, and then I will get into swatching. Second order is in a smaller box, but I mean, I'm not worried. It's just kind of interesting to note. So another packing slip and another personalized note. Okay, just 2 pages because this was a big order. This was for November pre-orders. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items in here. So I've got 8 shadows that I'll be talking about. And again, same message, personalized note. Lovely. I love that. Securely packed. We've got craft paper. Just make sure that I have all my shades in here, so I'll just keep that over here. And looks like they did 2 bundles of 3, and then their little like business card, and that's it. So let's open these up. Okay, yeah, it looks like all of them are in the same packaging, so it looks like they just have one standard sleeve and it's not tied to any collection. I guess it's cheaper that way. Another thing, like, I mean, it's really not the biggest deal at all, but there's only one window, so I can't see the shade name on the back before I open it, but I mean, it's fine. It's just something I noticed. There's no way that these are going to be shifting around while they're being transported because everything is very, very securely like taped together. It's not going to budge. They definitely already get brownie points for just how securely they're packed. So in my second order, it's a lot of purples and like 1.5 greens. I think I have a problem. So there was a range of prices with these shades. Clionadh is one of the most expensive indie brands that I've come across, like for single shadows, because of the amount of pigment that they use and the way that they construct their shadows. It's just very, very pricey, so that's why it's so expensive from my understanding. They do use some cheaper pigment, so it's kind of more similar to like your standard eyeshadow formula, I think, and those ones are like $10, which is kind of average for a single shadow. All right, so let's just talk about the shades that I have. So I'm just, you know what, I'm just going to show them on screen and then I'll put them in my palette. So just to show you, this is how they're packaged. So you have the little sleeve, and then inside you have this insert, and then you open up the insert, and there's like kind of a little die cut window. You open that up, and then you have the product. It's honestly, it's not my favorite way to package shadows because I just worry that things will slip around a lot. I don't know, I just worry about handling these because they're so expensive. So this one is Phosphorescent. It's, it looks white on camera. It's also kind of like pinky with a greenish shift. I'll just compare it to the other two that I was talking about before. So you can actually see it's quite a bit more green than the other two. Next one is also a very light one. This one looks like it has more of a purple shift. This one's called UV and has a very clear purple shift, which obviously is not showing up on camera. When I put it into the palette, I think you'll be able to see. So I'm going to turn off my light and just compare. Very hard to see these shifts on camera. I'm sure you'll be able to see them more when I swatch them on my arm, if not on my eyes. All right, now the darker ones that you'll be able to see a lot better. So this one is, I think, weathered. This one doesn't really have a shift, but it's just like a beautiful grungy greeny gold. I love it. Oh my God, so beautiful. This one is flame blown. Wow, it looks so different on camera. Holy. All right, this is looking very blue on camera. In person, it is not at all that color. Wow, that is so interesting. In person, it's very warm purple with a little bit of a green shift. Yeah, this is not true to color at all. This is Stencil. It's pretty true to color. It's a cooler tone purple with a warm pink shift. Anyways, it's beautiful. Last one from my order is Enamel, and this is just my favorite shade of purple. It looks like it's crumbling a little bit. I'm a little worried about that. Wow, this is not true to color at all. This one actually in person looks more like how Flame Blown was looking on camera. Okay, there we go. If I hold it down, it looks a little truer to color. And this one is like a cooler toned purple for sure with a blue shift. So this is what we'll be working with. I'm just going to swatch these on my arm first, just so we can take a look at them. All right, so we have Aura first. Ooh, they're very buttery to the touch. It looks like it has a white base and a very strong pinky reddish almost reflect. Almost like a pinky purple shift. Very cool. It's showing up purpley on camera, which is really interesting. All right, so next is Luxe. This one is almost a little crumbly, or maybe I just picked up too much. So what's fascinating about these colors is how many shifts they have, because on camera it's showing up very yellow tone, and in person it's very much like a yellow blue shift almost, with a hint of pink and very little base. Another thing I'm noticing is I expected these to be super glittery, and they're really not. They do have glitter, but I guess it's kind of more like micro glitter, whereas I sort of expected it to be more like Shine by SD, which is like full on glitter. Like I guess the glitter particles are a bit chunkier with that brand, and this brand, they're much finer particles. Next we have Phosphorescent. Just a thing to note about the last one, that pink is really picking up on camera. All right, so in person, you can definitely see that green shift, but it's so much stronger on camera. I'm seeing more of a bluish light teal color in person, and on camera it's a lot more green, like kind of like a greeny yellow. Okay, last one from this row is UV. All right, this one is a lot lighter. I don't think there's any base pigment on this one, and it's just that like purple reflect. This one is actually showing up pretty true to color on camera. It's the most gorgeous, like a glittery lavender, like a radioactive lavender color. I don't know how else to describe it. It's absolutely stunning. All right, let's do the next row. Okay, so starting off we have Weathered. This one looks like a true foiled, maybe has a little bit of a shift, but it looks uniform color. And this formula feels drier than the more pastel colors. Not in a bad way, like it's still creamy, but it's just not as like buttery and crumbly as the other ones. Okay, but like nothing compares to that pigment. Holy shit, that is beautiful. It reminds me of like if the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette was extended, this would be a perfect companion shade for that. All right, next one is Flame Blown. This one does feel a bit more buttery, and maybe it's just because it's got more of a shift. I don't know. Now, what's so interesting is this color does not look anything like it does in person as it's looking on camera. This color reminds me a lot of the shade No Way from JD Glow, but it's definitely got more of a color shift, especially because it's showing up so blue on camera, but less of a green shift, more of dimensions of pink. Okay, 2 more shades. So this one is Stencil. So this formula is also a bit drier, not like it's dry, it's just drier in comparison. This one's absolutely beautiful. I feel like it's a perfect companion shade to, what was the last shade up here? I think was it UV? Yeah, UV. They're just perfect for each other. The last shade that I ordered is Enamel. This one's also a bit of a drier formula. Doesn't seem to swatch that great. And it's very crumbly too. Okay, this one's looking way more blue on camera. It's definitely not as blue in person. It's a blue-based purple, but it's not as blue, if that makes sense. Do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. I'm turning off the light and I'm turning on my flashlight on my phone, trying to see if I can get the colors to look a little bit more color accurate. It like half worked, I guess. It's really hard to see the ones with very little base pigment, like the very, very light ones. Crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel. I'm just going to put up a picture on screen over here of what these colors actually look like in real life. So this is just a picture from my phone, and that's what they should look like. So I'm going to wash off my hands and my arm and then we'll get swatching. But as you can see, the ones with very little base pigment just look like plain glitter, and they're not really like that in real life. There is more, I wouldn't say like pigment, but there's more binding them, so it's not just glitter, it's more like an eyeshadow. Anyways, I'm going to wash off my hands, my arms, and then we'll get swatching on my eyes. Alright, so in case you're wondering, this side is the Ulta Eye Primer and this side is the NYX Glitter Primer. And that is the order that I will be sticking to. I'm going to start off with the shade Aura. I'm just going to use my finger. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so beautiful. I wouldn't even say it's subtle because it's very noticeable. Okay, here, if I sort of turn this way, you can kind of see it. It looks subtle on camera. In person, it definitely makes a statement. All right, let's just try that on the other side. Okay, so I definitely feel like it sticks better on the NYX side. Like you can definitely see more vibrancy from the NYX side. Like even on camera, you can definitely see it. Whereas on the Ulta side, or just kind of like what I'll call a standard eye primer, it's not as intense. I'm sure you could build up that intensity, but if you don't have the NYX glitter primer or any kind of glitter primer that has more tackiness, I think you could definitely still get the same effect. Maybe just not quite as intense, but it's definitely there. Also, if you put a little bit of a similar shade, but matte in your crease, it'll definitely bring out those pink tones. So this is Aura. So again, this is a glitter primer and this is a regular primer. Okay, so I'm back. Second shade is Luxe. Yeah, this shade is very crumbly. Very, very strong, like yellowy green shift. Actually, you know what? That would make a gorgeous highlight. It looks very yellowy, but it's fairly close to the actual color. And now the NYX side. This one I kind of pat on more. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely more vibrant on the NYX side. Wow. I mean, you can see it on both sides, but it's so much more pronounced. You know what? I'm just going to try highlighting with this just to see. It's a lot. It's very intense, but I'm kind of digging it. Oh, that is so beautiful and ethereal. It's just gorgeous. Okay, yeah, definitely found my new favorite highlighting shade. Stunning as an eyeshadow, but it's also equally as beautiful as a highlight shade. So again, this is the Luxe, this is the glitter glue, and this is the regular eye primer. Alright, one major thing to note is that these shades are incredibly glittery. So even though I used pretty strong makeup remover to get these off, you can still see glitter all over my face. And I don't mean where I used the shade Luxe as highlight, I mean just literally it gets everywhere. It's all over my hands, it's all down my face. It's probably going to end up on my clothes if it hasn't already. So it personally doesn't bother me, but it might bother some other people, so I'm just bringing it up so that people are aware. So we're moving on to shade number 3, which is Phosphorescent. Yeah, this one's definitely drier than the other ones. A little bit more crumbly, and this one is also very green, but more of a sort of teal green, although there is a yellow shift in there. This one reminds me a lot of Luxie from Shine by SD. You can watch my video over here if you're interested. I feel like this one you can kind of see the glitter particles a bit more. Wow, yeah, everything is just amplified so much more on the NYX glitter primer side. Definitely recommend using that. So another thing that I noticed, I've been using my fingers to apply these products, which is what I would normally do. What I find with the NYX glitter glue is it sucks up all the product from your fingers, whereas some other primers don't necessarily do that. So I just feel like I'm wasting less product when I use the NYX glitter primer. And when these shadows are so expensive, I want to get my money's worth and I don't want to waste any product, even though I guess I'm kind of wasting it by doing the swatching video, but you know what I mean. So this is Phosphorescent, this is the glitter primer side, and this is the regular primer side. Last shade in this row is UV. Oh man, this is the perfect kind of lavender, lilac, sort of ethereal, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. It's so funny. It doesn't look like this at all in the pan. I think just because the reflex are so strong, especially my ring light is probably bringing out all sorts of tones and beautiful. I am definitely gonna wear this shade a lot. This is one of my favorite shades of purple. It's just so perfect. I love it. I'm so happy. Oh, this as an inner corner highlight would be chef's kiss. Anyone with green or greenish hazel eyes, I think this would be one of the most perfect shades to really bring out the green in your eyes. It's so beautiful. So this is UV. And again, glitter glue, regular eye primer. All right, so now we're moving on to the second row. These ones are the more intense ones, and we're going to start out with Weathered, which is the only non-purple in this row. Yeah, definitely a much drier formula. I wouldn't call it buttery, but it's still very soft. That is just loaded with pigment. Oh, wow. So it does emphasize texture a little bit on the eyes, but it's not the worst. I don't know, it looks a little weird on the edges, but maybe that's just the color shift. Not 100% sure, but like this as alone, as its own eye look would be beautiful, especially on someone with brown eyes. I think this would be absolutely breathtaking. It's showing up, I think, less green, more yellow on the glitter glue side. To me, this is like a medieval color. I don't know what it is exactly about it. It just makes me think of the Middle Ages, that's all. I can't see too much of a difference with this one. This is the glitter primer. This is the regular eye primer. Do you guys see a difference? I don't know. Anyways, this is Weathered. All right, we are making progress. We're more than halfway there, so let's jump on in. All right, the next shade is Flame Blown, I think. All right, let's try this guy out. It's so weird. It looks like a cool tone purple. It's really not. This one is Buttery. Yeah, this is not showing up true to color. It's like a it's not quite a royal purple. It's got more pink in there. Really interesting shade. Like it doesn't look like how it is in the pan, but I'm okay with that. It's absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I definitely see myself reaching for this one. I feel like the glitter glue definitely made it look richer, whereas the regular eye primer, I mean, it's still very beautiful. There's a very subtle difference between the two, but I just feel like those more jewel tones show up a lot more on the glitter glue side, but with this particular one, there's not a huge amount of difference between the two. So again, this is Flame Blown. Got 2 more shades to go. So I'm going to go into Stencil. This one's also pretty buttery. I think it's showing up fairly true to color. It might be a little bit lighter on screen than in person, but absolutely beautiful. I am living my purple paradise right now. Ooh, these are so beautiful. To be honest, I don't see a ton of difference between the 2 different sides. But again, the side with the glitter primer is just a little bit richer than the side with the regular eye primer, but not a huge amount of difference. I think I saw more of a difference with the lighter base ones. Just an interesting thing to note. So this is Stencil. All right, and we're on the final shade. So this one is Enamel. Also buttery, but very crumbly. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the perfect shade of purple has arrived. She is here, and she's not messing around. If I could just have like everything head to toe with this shade of purple, I'd be set. It's like the perfect holographic bluish purple. I've always loved this color. It's so beautiful. Honestly, I really don't see a difference between the glitter glue side and the regular primer side. Anyways, this is Enamel. Filmed another video, did my makeup for that, and now I'm back. All right, the rundown. Let's talk about these shadows, shall we? So like every time I watch a Clionadh video, I feel like almost every single one that I've watched featuring Clionadh shadows are from people who got at least part of their collection in PR. So they have like a million of them, and I feel like my collection looks really sad in comparison. But you know what? These shadows are not cheap at all. This is the best I could do. And even then, I mean, I spent a fortune on these. So these are very, very special. Each of them are so unique. The texture and formula was both exactly what I was expecting and not what I was expecting in a good way. And what I mean by that is because these shadows have so many different shifts, they look different under different lights, under different angles, different cameras. So I feel like these are really hard to get to show up accurately on camera. And that's another thing that I found when I was picking out what shades I wanted to order online is even though there's pretty sure most, if not all shades do have swatches of some sort on Clionadh's website, you really don't get a sense of all the different color shifts. So thank you to, let's see, Amy Loves Makeup, Angelica Nyqvist, Lauren May Beauty, and I'm sure there are other people who I'm forgetting who diligently made swatching videos and helped me pick out the colors that I ended up choosing. I hope my swatching video also helps people. Obviously my collection isn't that big, so I only have 8 shadows. These are so interesting. Like they're not, the formula isn't like that far from other shadows, but they're really interesting because they're ever changing and they're depending on the temperature of the light that's hitting your eyes, it will look different. Even just like, you know, as you turn your head, the way that the light bounces off, it'll look different. I think it's super, super cool. I think these are honestly some of the most interesting and unique eyeshadows that are on the market. I highly, highly recommend these. Honestly, I give these all a solid 11 out of 5. Like these are all fantastic. They perform beautifully. The pigmentation is definitely there. You don't see mainstream brands do things like this. Like the closest that I've seen was Natasha Denona coming out with those like not duochrome, multi-chrome shadows, but they're not like this. I mean, I haven't actually tried the Natasha Denona ones, but from what I hear, they can't compare it to this. And also Clionadh has made a name for themselves in the industry for their insane multi-chrome shadows, and I don't even have some of their like most popular ones or the really like not intense ones, because I mean these are pretty intense, but you know, I only have a small selection of what they offer. So I highly encourage you, if you are interested in the colors and the textures and the color shifts that I talked about today, I highly recommend you check out their website, because they do have other colors. These are just the ones that I'm personally drawn to. And I actually had about 6 or so more shadows in my cart, and I didn't want to spend like $1 million because you can easily go broke just buying Clionadh shadows. So definitely recommend you check this brand out if you haven't already. They aren't cheap, and they don't often have sales. If you're interested in like really like the best quality multi-chrome or interesting like duochrome shifty kind of shadows, save up your money and invest in these, because these are fantastic. And I also really love the consistency. I don't find they are a little crumbly, but I don't find they're too crumbly. Whatever like binding agent they're sort of filled with to like just press them in the pans seems to be pretty good. If you're not afraid of color, you're looking for something new and exciting to add to your makeup collection, Clionadh for sure. I can't recommend them enough. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below if you've tried any products from Clionadh, and also if you have, let me know your favorite shades in the comment section below if you have any shades to recommend, because honestly, like, new favorite brand. I'm not disappointed at all. These shadows live up to my expectations and go beyond. They're fantastic, and I'm really excited to build up my makeup collection with more of these, because I definitely will be investing in more of these soon, because they're honestly like, I could build an entire makeup collection of just Clionadh shadows. They're that good. Even though like there are shadows that I love from other brands, don't get me wrong, like I do love almost like pretty much most of the brands that I mention on my channel. Like I really do genuinely love them. Clionadh brings something I can't really put into words what it is, but it's a combination of the creamy textures and the way that the shadows are formulated, so they're not too crumbly, they're not too messy, the way that they apply so smoothly, the pigmentation level, the reflect, the amount of glitter, just everything I would give like 10 out of 10 to. It's just, they perfected every single category of eyeshadow. It's mind-boggling. They are, I think, the perfect eyeshadows in every category. It's insane. If you're as excited about this brand as I am, then I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I'd love to build a community of kind of like-minded people who are interested in the same things that I am. So if you're interested in this brand, you know, let's spark a discussion. In real life, I don't know too many people who are as excited about makeup as I am, so I'd love to just make like new friends that we can just, you know, talk about this kind of stuff. So if you want to be my friend and talk about makeup, then subscribe to my channel and also follow me on my other social media. Like, I'm always happy to talk about makeup like 24/7. Love doing that. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. That's probably where I'm most active outside of YouTube. And let's chat about makeup. And I'll see you in my next video.